Hello, this is Crescent from the future, at least relative to this run, providing post-commentary on this recently completed run for Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I actually got this last night. I just wanted to get this video out as soon as possible in order to show the new stuff as well as to show the... Well, you see the time on the bottom on the title of this video, 10:25. Just wanted to show you how exciting it is. So I'll kind of explain the new things that are happening here, because there are a bunch of new things that I included. Starting with me resetting because I screwed up a trick that needs the fire shield because I did a boo-boo. Now to actually start around, I need to clear a file as always, so there's a bunch of new things in Angel Island 1, Hydrocity 1, and Marble Garden. The first thing you'll notice is Angel Island 2 has an 11-second split. That's new. It all hinges on a new strat involving a level rep in Act 1 and in the second half of Act 1. And that'll involve me going through a special stage, hitting a checkpoint, and then clipping into one of the pieces of layout in the stage in order to do zip to do the level rep. Now, you'll see it happen in just a few moments. This is just me getting into the actual area that I need to go through. So as you can see, I'm going to avoid the checkpoint and then go down here, go through this special stage. I actually need to go through the special stage. The reason why I need to go through it is to reset the left camera boundary so that I can actually do a level rep. Think of it like the Hydrocity 2 level rep, where you have to die before attempting it, otherwise you just don't do anything. It's kind of similar to this. Now, go back in here, we hit the checkpoint, we get those stars, we get hit by the spike, then try and clip into that section, then push right to zip left, and we zip up by pushing left and jumping. Now, the reason why we needed the stars in the checkpoint is it screws up the event counter for Angel Island. The event counter essentially keeps track of what sort of events should happen according to where the camera is. For example, in case of if Angel Island is in event 2 and the camera catches up to where the mini boss one should be, it'll just load up the mini boss. However, by doing previous steps, I actually tricked the game into going into event 8, which is just trigger the boss of Act 2 if the camera is at the right position, taking advantage of the fact the second half of Act 1 and Act 2 are actually the same act. So when I did the level ramp, I just made it to where the flying battery cutscene would be, and I just make it here. So cool stuff. I'm gonna get Tails to hit the capsule because fun. And that's Act 1, or Act 2 technically. Now we go through the bridge, and there's really nothing I can do to accelerate this. This is just an auto-scroller. So Hydrocity 1 also has new stuff, which I actually failed the first time, so I have to go back and redo it, which involves Tails getting a bunch of rings from it, getting hit, then clipping into that small portion of the floor, doing a level ramp, then on the loop back at the end, doing a bunch of spin dashes to align myself within a proper position, to then be able to zip up by jumping, and just barely making the camera catch up to where the boss should be in order to trigger the screen lock and push me into the boss area. So I can do all of that and defeat the boss just like that. I actually got a little bit of help from Tails, which was quite lucky, but then the ring box decided to appear, making me lose like 3 seconds or something. Yeah, as you can see, there was quite a bit of time loss. The times that you're seeing on the left are the best times that I had. up to the point that I actually made it. You'll see that the splits eventually stop. That's because I actually never made it past that point in an actual run. So Hydrocity 2 is probably the last stage you'll actually recognize, the only stage you recognize if you're an active Sonic 1 speedrun, Sonic 2 Knuckles speedrun. However, I'm gonna do something a little bit different, just because I like doing my own stuff. I'm just gonna spin this against the wall in order to step into the ground and then do the level wrap. You can see me doing this in the IO I have for Hydro 2 and Speedrun.com, the one for 28 seconds. That's just a philosophy I do. Now, nothing happens when Tails hits water, and I just hit the boss 8 times and I make it to the capsule. So I was saying, you can check that on the Speedrun.com, because if there's a strat that I found that takes the same amount of time as a strat that already exists, I usually go for my own stuff just because I like doing that. Anyway, that's Hydro 2. Now, Marvel Garden 1 has technically new stuff, but technically not new. It's taking advantage of an old strat Ben in Sweden showed in Sonic Speedrun in Discord last week, involved in doing a screen wrap at the boss area, which I'm gonna explain as soon as I make it to it. As soon as I make it there. Also, my strat for this, even though there's a different one, I like doing my own stuff. So you can see me doing that, getting the speeches, collapsing a platform, and then the platform reappearing again. Nice game. So I'm gonna make it, so at the boss, I'm gonna do a screen wrap just before the boss triggers in order to avoid having the camera pass through the relevant area and load the boss, because of the same reason I mentioned before, the event routine checks for the camera positions. Now, I need Tails to be here because I don't need him to despawn because he's gonna be off camera for a long time. I'm gonna position myself in a very important position to trigger the boss while falling down, which means I will be pushed into the floor. And yeah, now I'm controlling Tails using my 1P controls by zipping left and right, and then pushing the jump buttons whenever I want Tails to jump. Tails is gonna follow whatever I do, so if I push the jump button, even though I won't move, I won't jump, Tails will, which is the reason why I can actually defeat the boss. Now that's Act 1. The reason why I wanted to do this is so for Act 2, I can do a level ramp. As you'll see at 7 seconds. Which is gonna trigger with a bunch of good pausing, a game mode corruption, which essentially tells the game I just corrupted the game mode of the game, so the game actually now thinks I just cleared a special stage. This is the special stage score tally playing in the background right now. I kinda needed that, because as you can see, for the very few frames that it was on screen, I actually got a Chaos Emerald. However, this Chaos Emerald is invalid, and that will be useful for us later. Because what we'll try to do is show this invalid Chaos Emerald and save. Now, what's a good place to show the Chaos Emerald and save? Yep, it's going to a special stage and then trying to get a new one. It won't work if I just go through a special stage and fail, for whatever reason. Well, the thing I'm trying to do anyway. So, I'm gonna make it to a special stage. Also, I suck at this because I don't play it normally through Marvel Garden 2. This is actually the first time I actually made it here in a run, so I was just trying to remember what the route was for the most part. Up to the point where I actually made it to the big ring. Now I actually have to play through the special stage. This is the third one, if you were keeping track. I failed out of the first one. I collected an invalid Chaos Emerald for the second one, even though I technically didn't go through the special stage. And now I'm gonna play through the third one and actually beat it. And I won't spoil the reason for why I'm going through all of this effort until the point where you actually see it happen. So it's just a bunch of blue spheres. There's really not much I can do. I'm sure you all love this anyway. So yeah, just go around, collect blue spheres. The point is I want to collect the Chaos Emerald and save. So here's the Chaos Emerald, and score tally appears and disappears, and I'm at level select. I did another game mode corruption, which essentially put the game into the level select mode. And since I'm in level select, I can just go wherever I please. In particular, I can go to Death Egg 3, which is just the final boss of the any percent category. So I just play for this, I beat it just like this. There really isn't anything remarkable other than me being very fucking nervous, as you can see by the inputs. So I want to get 8 hits. I unfortunately cannot do the cool strat, so I have to do it the normal way. The cool strat being just getting 8 hits through spin dashes on the left side, and I cannot do that because I actually haven't played through, actually haven't panned the camera in order to activate the glitch. Now I just get 8 hits on this guy, and just a stab, Sonic 3 Knuckles is cleared. I actually have to make sure I don't die. Tails actually helped me a little bit with that. And 8th hit, I kind of waited just to not fall down, which would have been very bad. And 1025 97 hundredths of a second. A completion with big quotation marks, I guess. Quotation marks, yeah, quotation. Well, it's the same thing. A completion by some people. It's kind of weird. I'm not sure if this counts for the leaderboards. The leaderboards say you shouldn't use level select. You shouldn't enable level select. I technically didn't enable it. I just warped to the level select screen. But if you do count it, well, this is a new world record by 24 minutes. We did kind of discuss this a few weeks ago, or was it this week? I think it was this week. I'm not sure if they came out to a ruling on this. Yeah, I guess I'll have to do it now. Yeah. This is the speedrun I wanted to show. I'll try and answer questions that they scored. I know I went through a lot of things very quickly, couldn't actually explain entirely everything, but that's because everything just went so fast. The new stuff just kind of went extremely, what's the word? It went extremely fast. Yeah, I don't know of another way of saying it. We just blazed through the new stuff, and I couldn't actually explain it because I was trying to keep up with the video, and I didn't want to pause because mods will want to verify the run without any weird pauses. But anyway, that's Sonic 3 and Knuckles, Sonic and Tails. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I certainly did this past week, just exploring the new things I found and then putting everything together in a nice way. I think I can push time under 10 minutes if I get everything perfectly, but I wouldn't count on me doing this, at least in the near future. I'm sure other people will try. And at that point, well, I guess I'll have to defend my title. But anyway, that was Sonic 3 Knuckles. I'll actually let the credits play out, and then in this video I also show what happens later. Also, quite funny because I was using Sophia's auto splitter for this one. Since Sophia's auto splitter uses game time as opposed to real time, the game actually live split things. I got a world record of 10:45 because that's the actual RTA time I got. Of course, we don't go through straight real-time attack time. We go RTA minus CD, which is go through the entire run and discard any time you spend counting down the time bonuses, which is why the final time is 10:25:97 and not 10:45. But yeah, Sonic 3 Knuckles. And of course, we didn't collect the Chaos Emerald, so we get the bad ending, but who cares? Just to show what the actual thing is again. I actually went to competition mode for whatever reason in here. I was just too excited, even though I technically didn't need to. But yeah, that's it for me. The third Chaos Emerald is collected, the second one is invalid, so it's not showing. And I'll see you guys later.